Did you know that the principle of divide and rule was first seen in 5th century? So you see, the Romans called it divide e imperia, and they used it successfully to conquer the entire Apennine Peninsula. They would break up this large territory into individual states and sign treaties with each of these. And doing so, the states could not sign treaties with anybody else, making it impossible for them to unite and fight the Romans. This technique was so successful that they used it to take over large parts of Europe and Africa. And we obviously learned about the whole divide and rule technique from our Indian history books. This is how the British ruled over India as well, dividing us up into little warring states and making sure that we could not unite. Now, in a world where we don't need to worry about empires and colonial rules, we still use the principle to solve our life problems. Welcome to the Habit Coach podcast, the podcast where we evolve into the best versions of ourselves, one awesome habit at a time. I am Ashdin Doctor, your habit coach. So, in computer science, divide and conquer is an algorithm design paradigm. A divide and conquer algorithm breaks down the problems into two or more sub-problems until it becomes simple enough to solve each of those tiny problems directly. You see, a divide and conquer algorithm breaks down a problem into two or more sub-problems until these become simple enough to be solved directly. The solutions to these problems are then combined and the original problem is solved. Now, I'm not a computer scientist or a coding genius. I'm a habit coach, and we can use this same technique to break down all the big problems that we have in life into smaller, manageable chunks. You see, our lives are filled with challenges and problems. Sometimes they're so big that we cannot even hold them in our minds. They keep running around in our heads and we are scared to even take action against them. A big presentation perhaps, or a international trip that you have to go for, or setting up a wedding or an event or something else creates a big challenge for us. What happens when we see a challenge as a whole is that we get stuck in fight or flight response. We can't figure out how to tackle it, so we either run away or we hide. Instead, you can use the whole divide and conquer methodology to get the challenge completed. And we start by breaking up the challenge into tasks. Now, these are activities that need to be completed for the challenge or problem to be finished. Now, if the task is too hard, you divide it further into smaller subtasks, and you keep doing that till you find something that is easily manageable to do, till that task feels like no challenge at all. However, this sounds really good and looks good on paper, and while I'm telling you this, you'll be like, yes, I'm going to do this. As a coach, however, I know how daunting it can be to suddenly see so many tasks in front of you. Your mind keeps wandering from one task to the next before it has even completed the one that you're on. And this is a problem. When we do the whole divide and conquer technique, we have to compartmentalize all the different aspects. In this way, you're not worrying about what needs to be done next, or did you do the previous task properly. You are just focusing on the task at hand. And this is the real challenge. Make clear compartments of boxes for each of the ones that you have to do, and then only focus on those tasks to be done. Soon, those crazy, insane goals that you've been setting for yourself will seem simple and easy to do. This divide and conquer technique is something that I've seen many successful people do as a habit. As soon as a big challenge is presented to them, they immediately break it up into the small bits and start working on them. So think about what big, huge problem you are currently facing. Then break it up into smaller tasks till each task feels easy to do. Then take action and get it done. So start today. If you like this episode, don't forget to hit subscribe. Also give us a rating. It really helps with people discovering the podcast. If you like podcasts like this, check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can also watch all the episodes on the Habit Coach Awesome 180 YouTube channel. Follow us on social media. We are at IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, everywhere. You can also reach out to me. I am Ashdin Doc at Twitter and Instagram. You can connect with me on my website, awesome180.com. You can also check out my 2 new books, Change Your Habits, Change Your Life, and the second, The Book of Good Habits for Kids. I am Ashdin Doctor, your habit coach.
IVM.